Hey everybody. Um, whew, sorry, I'm a little out of it. I'm just asking for prayers. I've just not been feeling good for a while. I took myself off of my thyroid meds because it was causing hair to fall out and um, other health issues and weight gain, which I was trying to lose weight. And at my fattest, I was around 290 pounds sometime when I went into seminary in 2019. I just blew up because she had put me on thyroid meds and levothyroxine. And then when I came off of it, I started losing weight again. In 2020, when I got out of seminary, I was skinnier than I am now. And then I ended up gaining a lot of weight again from stress, lack of sleep, and unhealthy eating because I didn't have much money. So I was on a diet of, TV dinners, dollar TV dinners, and McDonald's, and whatever I could afford at the time. And again, a lot of stress during the pandemic and stuff. And, Donna was sick ultimately multiple times, multiple strokes and all that stuff, right? And so that was a lot of stress and lack of sleep, many sleepless nights, which I'm still struggling with. And so just to let you guys know, I haven't been on in a while because Facebook, again, our lovely communist Marxist Gestapo, darn Nazis, blocked me off of Facebook for days again from some stupid thing I posted. Heaven forbid you should post the truth and nothing but the truth, whether people like it or not. You cannot be politically correct and honest in this world. If you're honest, then you're going to be politically incorrect because people want to hear lies and nonsense. They don't want to hear the truth. I can't stand people who don't want to hear the truth. You know what? I don't like everything that's true about me, but I'd rather you be honest with me than tell me a bunch of lies. Don't tell me I look great when I'm fat and ugly. I'm not stupid, or don't tell me, whatever. I'm getting off subject here. The point is, when I post stuff, nobody's going to like it. And I really don't appreciate people flagging my account and reporting me and my post to Facebook. If you're going to be a jerk, get off my page because you know what I'm all about. And you don't need to be here. Okay? What do you think? You're going to win a medal or something for going after people like me, truth speakers, people who are against the LGBTQ mafia, alphabet mafia, people who are real Christians, people who are against BLM and all that. Look, I'm sick of the racism. I want everybody to just get along, okay? I want you to get along. I don't care what color skin you are. You treat me good, I treat you good. You treat me bad, I still treat you good because I'm a Christian and that's what we do. As far as the alphabet mafia, I can care less what you say or think about me, all right? I understand what you're going through, trust me. I've been there. I got a lot of you guys in my family, but I am a Christian and I'm going to go with God on this. And so I don't care what your excuses are. It's like this, it's real simple. You either get with God's program, no matter who you are. I don't care if you're rich or poor, sick or healthy, black or white, gay, straight, bi, questioning, trans. I don't care what you are. You're a human being. You're a created being. Then you want to go to heaven? Then you will do what God tells you, and that's it. Now that's equality because we all follow the same rules in the kingdom of Christ. But if you're not in the kingdom, if you're in the kingdom of Satan, well, then I guess anything goes, and there's nothing but chaos and confusion and division and fighting and strife and everything else. And for people who want equality, people of color, people of the alphabet soup mafia, you certainly divide yourselves. You certainly, sorry, I thought someone was going to hit that car. You certainly cause your own segregation now, don't you? I mean, you sit there on what you're such hypocrites, honestly, all of you. You want to be equal, but then everything you do tramples on anyone who is not like you. Or you segregate yourselves. and you form your own little cliques and mafias and groups. And how is that progress? You call it progress and modernizing. How is that helping anybody? All you're doing is causing racism, division, hate. I mean, what? Oh, I can't wait till Jesus comes down here and bangs everybody's head together. Knock some sense into us, because until he does, this is just going to continue to go down the toilet. But anyway, I am asking for prayers because I have not been well lately, and I have to lose 70 pounds. That's my goal. So about a week ago now, I started the South Beach diet again after coming off of my thyroid meds, which were not helping at all, making my hair fall out and get all thin after I just got it all back nice and full with vitamins and everything, which, by the way, the vitamins made me blow up ridiculous amount of weight. And then, I tried eating healthy, but once I stopped the vitamins, I start losing weight. Once I stopped the levothyroxine, I start losing weight, but then the fatigue spells come again, and all these other issues, and body pain, and I'm just so tired of this. I don't want to be a slave to pharmaceuticals, because you fix one thing and you add 10 more problems. I'm just so tired of it. So anyway, so what I've been doing is fasting a lot, and when I do eat, it's kind of like intermittent fasting, but I'm doing the keto. That wasn't really working, and so I started doing the keto diet. The South Beach diet and South Beach kind of keto diet. It's kind of a little bit of both. And so far, I feel myself losing some weight. You can almost see it a little bit in my face. Not enough to notice right now. But when I started it, I believe, unless Donna's scale was off, I was like 236 pounds. So I need to get down to 168 is when I was at my goal weight, when I was doing modeling, when I looked good. And even then, I didn't have a ripped body, but I was a lot healthier, a lot skinnier. People, you wouldn't even recognize me. I could look good. I'm meant to be thin. My bone structure, unfortunately, I inherited my dad's, and as soon as I turned 29, 30, I started blowing up. Like, I always had a barrel chest skeleton, big bone structure, even when I was skinny. So that was a precursor to being able to put on a lot of weight and being fat and squatty when you're older. And sure enough, after around 30, I started packing on the pounds. By 33, I was still modeling, 32, 33. Then my dad died, and that was it. After 34, I just really, the cortisol from stress, the sleepless nights, the poverty, all that stuff just really made my body, the thyroid disease kicked in. I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which was also aggravated in 2017 when they did their second surgery on my spinal cord, my cervical spine. They damaged the thyroid. So then that Hashimoto's thyroiditis from thyroid damage kicked in, and then I just blew up. Not to mention being bedridden for almost 4 months with a neck brace on. That didn't help much either. So anyway, I am trying like heck to naturopathically lose this weight, because my heart was going into congestive heart failure again. And I knew if I didn't do this right now, I'm going to die. I can just feel, I know my body, and it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I was just like eating nothing, like water and vegetables, and I was still bloating. I'm like, no, something's very wrong here. So I started the South Beach diet, which makes you start eating more frequently, but you got to watch what you eat very strictly, and you have to watch, you got to make sure you're not hungry, which is hard on this diet, because what it does is the first couple, well, it's supposed to be the first 2 weeks for phase 1, but now the new science has come out, and the new book has come out like decades later, and the same doctor's saying, okay, 2 months, you have to do phase 1, which is the most difficult phase, for 2 months before you have permanent results where you're really going to start losing weight, because I'm pre-diabetic and I have insulin resistance, right? Which a lot of people have, and they don't realize it. That's why they're gaining weight. And in order to reverse that, You've got to be on a very strict, and we're no sugar at all, no carbs at all, no potatoes, no rice, no bread, no sugar at all. You could use sugar substitutes, no fruits. Now, I love fruit. Now, for months now, I've been just eating nothing but watermelon and blackberries and raspberries and healthy fruit every day for months, and I was still gaining weight. And I'm like, what is it? I'm not even, and just boiled chicken, and it wasn't working. So now I'm starting to see results little by little. I can feel them, but my body's at a war right now, and that's where I need prayer, because I'm not feeling good. The headaches, the sweating, probably because of the thyroid now again and stuff. Like, I'm willing to do this. I don't care if I die. I'm not giving up on this, but my body is rebelling against this diet. It wants carbs, it wants sugar, and this has already been a week into it, and I'm not craving it as much. I'm craving healthier stuff, but you never feel satiated. You're always going to be hungry, and that's the odd thing about this diet, is you're not supposed to feel hungry if you eat as much constantly as they say. Like you're eating 6 times a day, like one breakfast, snack, lunch, a snack, whatever, and they give you a diet plan, and there's all the foods to avoid and all the foods you can eat. And so I'm losing a little bit of weight, but you have to lose the weight around your organs first before you see the exterior weight start coming off. You have to, because when you get as fat as me, right? I look 9 months pregnant. What happens is, by the time it gets that bad, your organs, your heart is covered in fat. Your lungs, your liver's fatty. Your pancreas, it's disgusting. If you ever did an autopsy, you would look like somebody filled you with spray foam. Like, seriously, and it's not good. And that's why it's toxic. And it starts destroying your organs. You get diabetes, you get thyroid issues, you get all kinds of stuff, cancer, heart failure. I have congestive heart failure. And then you get inflammation of the bones and stuff. And I am just so much pain from the first vertebrae down to my coccyx. It's been bad, and so I've not been able to. I had to go on this diet. Like, this is a war now. Like, literally, for my survival, I know that if I do not drop this weight, I am going to die soon. So I just took it upon myself to do this, and I'm telling you guys now, because I'm hoping that at least in a month we'll see some serious results. In many ways, I'm getting mental energy back and mental clarity back. I'm getting I can't sleep at night because it's like I got all this mental and physical energy, but I'm going through hot flashes and sweating, soaking sweat. I can't deal with heat. I used to be able to go to 100-degree heat and be fine. Now it's like, if it's 70 or higher, I'm like, it's so hot. I can't tolerate it all of a sudden. So it's got to be thyroid issues there, and being fat. Now the low blood sugar and the hypoglycemia is kicking in because I'm not allowed to have any kind of sugar of any kind. So I just cold turkey just went from eating normal to this strict diet, and now my body is like, so I need prayer because I just don't feel well. I'm getting aches and pains like you wouldn't believe. I feel like I have a tumor in my head. I feel like I'm gonna just drop. I had to stop all my vitamins as well, because the vitamins and the B vitamins and stuff were causing me to gain weight. So I just stopped everything one night. I said, that's it. Monday, it begins. And the first couple of days were hard. I was very hungry all the time and whatever. By the 3rd or 4th day, I didn't really crave junk food, bread, bagels, any of that stuff anymore, which I really wasn't eating, honestly. I really wasn't. There's no alcohol at all allowed on this diet, which I don't drink really anyway. That messes me up every time I do drink. It causes problems and depression and everything, so I don't need that garbage. So I got to tell you, like, it's not going to be easy. So I just need prayer, because I don't know if this is not good for me to do. And that's why my body's reacting so severely, because something's going on. I mean, I do feel, I can't explain it. Like, I feel like I'm burning fat inside, like around my organs. I feel different inside. And I'm starting to get a little more contour on the outside too. Like I'm seeing it. I haven't weighed myself yet. I want to wait about at least a week from start to see if I've dropped anything. Um, and I don't even think I'm doing this diet properly because I actually messed up the first day and had a little small portion of beets, red beets. And then I realized you're not supposed to have it. It's on the do not eat list. Then I ate some carrots and I'm like, oh, and I don't even like carrots and carrot juice. And that's on the do not eat list because of the sugar. So I messed, and then I had gum and I didn't realize it wasn't sugar free. So I messed up there. And then today I was like getting so hypoglycemic. I had a little teaspoon of chocolate ice cream that I was feeding my client. And I feel like I really cheated and messed it up. And I hope not, because in order for keto to kick in, ketosis, you have to have no sugar for a long period of time and no carbohydrates. You've got to extremely starve and put your body into shock, physical shock. And let me tell you, talk about hangry, like when you're hungry and you get angry. The first couple of days of this, I was like hangry, like, now, yesterday I was feeling better, and now today, it's like I'm hungry, but it's like it's almost like you're hungry for something that food is not going to give you. So like I could eat, like today, what did I have for breakfast? Because I didn't follow the actual meal plan. I didn't really have time. I got up late and because I couldn't sleep last night. So I had half an unskinned cucumber. And I had a handful of nuts, mixed nuts, pistachios, whatever. And then I had water with fiber in it, benefiber stuff in it, with a sugar-free lemon stuff to make lemonade. I had... Did I have a cheese? I think did I have I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I had a cheese stick, like a 1% skim milk cheese stick. And then tonight for dinner, I made fish for my patient and some string beans. Well, the fish shrank down so small in the oven that I gave him my piece as well. And I ended up just eating a mound of green string beans. And he's like, oh, you're not eating? I'm like, I can't. There wasn't enough for both of us, and I'll just eat the stupid string beans. So I'm definitely getting my salads and vegetables in every day, more than ever. Eventually you'll crave nothing but healthy food. When I did this in my 20s to lose weight fast for a movie and for a photo shoot, I looked great. I was eating spinach salad every day, and after a while, I didn't want sugar or anything anymore. I did not want carbs. I didn't want bread. And the minute I went back and had a piece of cake or something sweet, I got sick. I'm like, ugh. It's almost like when you quit smoking and then you have a cigarette again, and it's like, it's disgusting. It's like kissing a dirty ashtray, right? You don't want it. But then all of a sudden the addiction kicks back in. Well, that's how it is with food. And people, in my research, this is what I got to tell you. If you're trying to lose weight, we're doing it all wrong. We are literally poisoning our bodies and we're addicted to sugar. What sugar of any form does is it is literally like heroin. Or actually, no, what's morphine. It does the same thing to your body, to your brain, sugar, as morphine. So even if you're eating just vegetables and fruits that are high sucrose, like high sugar, it does the same thing. And what sugar does, too much of it will make you gain weight. It will give you diabetes, whatever, no matter what. And so people think, oh, well, how bad could it be eating fruits and berries and sugar and carrots? If you do it too often, yeah, it's actually just as bad as having a piece of cake every day. So you've got to stop. And bread, let me tell you, being Italian, this is hard because we like our bread and pasta. Bread is not, especially Americanized stuff, it's not good for you. Not only because glucose is no good for anybody, especially if you're glucose intolerant, but bread is made out of grains. And grains are not edible to the human body. Yeah, okay, it might be roughage, it might be fiber, but we are not cows. Cows have multiple stomachs. We are not meant to eat grass. I mean, think about it. If you didn't have society, modern day society, and you had to be a hunter-gatherer again, or go back to the 1870s, 1600s again, or if you were living like an Indian or a caveman, you would not have access to this type of stuff. You wouldn't be making it. You don't know how to make flour and all that, right? So what would you eat? You would forage for berries. You would eat stuff that you can access naturally, right? You would not be making bread. You certainly wouldn't go into a field of wheat and start eating grass, right? No, that has to be processed first before you can eat it. So therefore, especially after you're done processing it, your body is not going to be able to do anything with that. So it turns into toxic fat. Your body does not know what to do with this stuff. So I'm telling you, you want to lose weight, you want mental clarity, you want to get rid of depression, you want to get rid of mind fog. I am telling you, I'm going through this right now, and it's working. No glutens, no pasta, no bread. I don't care if it's gluten-free. No flour, no rice, no potatoes of any kind. What's left to eat then in the American diet? That's what they're doing to us. They're killing us. No sugar. And you got to give yourself at least 2 solid weeks like this. And that includes no dairy unless it's skim milk or 1%. Like low fat, 1% dairy products like cheese and milk. Anything more than that, or yogurt, anything more than 1%, you are done. You're ruining your diet and you're going to get fat. And there's too much sugar in dairy also. Milk turns to sugar. People don't know that, but milk turns to sugar in your system. Bread and rice and potatoes are starches. They turn to sugar in your system. So your body has to create insulin. But eventually, if you keep feeding it too much of this stuff, which is in our everyday diet, the food pyramid tells you to eat more of breads and less anything else. That's backwards. That is not natural. So our bodies are going into insulin resistance. And then diabetes picks up. And it causes cancer and all kinds of health issues. Crohn's disease, which I have. All of this is coming from diet. I said I'd never be one of those stupid diet gurus, but I'm telling you, I'm finding out from my research, and it is true. I'm finally doing it and taking it seriously, and I'm realizing, wow, my body is going through a serious battle right now, but I feel better and more mentally clear in many ways, and I'm starting to lose the weight inside, but it's all a matter of you literally have to be strict, and it takes perseverance because I am hungry constantly. I am angry. I am going through sweats like a heroin addict. And I'm like, what's going on? And I realize it's insulin resistant. It's sugar withdrawal. It's carbohydrate withdrawal. This could last probably 2 weeks to 2 months. So God help anybody who irritates me anytime within the next 2 months. I'm sorry, but it's almost like trying to quit alcohol or smoking or any kind of drug. Food is a drug, people. That's why obesity is the #1 problem in this world next to alcohol or cigarettes or drugs. Because food. Why do you think the Bible says gluttony, excess eating, is a sin? Your body doesn't need that much. Anything in excess of what you need to survive is just gluttony, and it's going to cause fat and sugar problems and whatever, thyroid issues. So eat to live. Don't live to eat. Don't be one of those people who are depressed and just starts eating because they're depressed or stressed or angry. That's like just as bad as smoking. That's just as bad as doing alcohol or drugs. You're going to have a vice. You're going to become addicted. Human beings are always addicted to something, whether it's sex, pornography, alcohol, pills, drugs, food. It doesn't matter. We can't say, we have no self-control. And your body's always craving something. And it will go from one thing to another to another. You stop smoking, you start drinking. You stop drinking, you start doing drugs. You stop doing drugs, you start masturbating. You stop masturbating, it's just always something. You start eating. That's how the flesh is, and that's why the Bible says the world, the flesh, and the devil, those 3 things are what we are fighting against. You have a spirit, you have a spirit in you, and then you have the flesh. This flesh is made up of this world, the dust of the earth. This world is corrupt. The spirit is of God. It is perfect. It's pure. So your body is constantly wanting to be like a pig rolling in dirt. Like, it wants to defile itself. It never gets enough sin. It never gets enough worldly things, food, material, money, pleasure. It's like an all-consuming machine. It never stops. Your soul, on the other hand, is a different beast altogether. And it is trying to go for the opposite. Because it's not meant to be permanently down here. It's only here temporary. So you've got to start feeding the soul more than the flesh. Because some people have trouble with food. Some people have trouble with sex. Some people have trouble with alcohol, drugs. It doesn't matter what your sin is, what your vice is, what your addiction is. Sin is addictive. And it comes in many different forms. Some people have foul language, whatever, anger issues. It's addictive. That's why you're having problems stopping. Judging other people. It's a bad habit. Habits are addictions. They're vices. Soon as we know this, we have to figure out, okay, how do we get to the root cause of it? It's like this, okay? If you have a rat infestation or a bug infestation, ants in your house, right? It's not enough to just kill the ants. You have to get to the source of the ants. You have to get to the hive. You got to get to the ant hive or the nest. Same thing with rats, anything. You want to get rid of the problem. Killing them outside is not going to do it. You need to bring the poison right to the center of the nest. Get them all there. That's the root of the issue. Otherwise, you're just going to keep breeding and putting more out there until you get rid of the nest itself. It's like cancer. You got to get the cancer. It's a tumor. If you leave even a little bit, it will keep growing and spreading through your body. So you got to get it all, and you got to get it at the source, right? Some people treat cancer. The reason they die is because they're treating it. Okay, by the time they realize they have it, they're treating it when it's in the blood or it's in the lungs or whatever. But it started somewhere. And if you can find the source of that cancer, where it actually metastasized first, whether it's a lung, the brain, whatever, you get that source, get rid of it, it'll be easier to get rid of the rest of it. But as long as if you get rid of all the rest of it, but you still have the source there and you haven't gotten the source, it's going to keep sending it out into the body. So we have got to nip these things in the bud. And this, I'm going to try to use this irritability, this insatiable appetite, the hunger pains as penance, because now I understand why Christians fast and do penance. This is when you fast from anything, you're denying yourself, your body, your flesh, what it wants, and it will have a temper tantrum, and it's painful often. Coming off drugs or alcohol is painful, literally, and difficult. Coming off of food, any kind of sin or addiction, it's painful. It's hard for a while. Then you overcome it. But you got to go through the fight and the withdrawals, and that can take weeks. But once you do, you're going to be so happy, and you're never going to want to go back because you don't want to go back into bondage again. It's like trying to escape a prison camp in Korea. If you do, it ain't going to be easy. But when you do, you never want to go back there again. So, I'm in this battle right now, and I'm making a video about diet because I'm realizing the spiritual disciplines that are involved in this as well. I literally told the Lord, I'm like, Lord, I cannot do this on my own. I know it seems like it's just a diet, Steve. Lose some weight. Stop eating so much. No, you don't understand. The reason why most diets fail is because this perverted society is poisoning us and pushing things on us that we're not even supposed to be eating in the first place. When I go to Stop and Shop, there is almost nothing I can buy. Nothing I can eat on this diet except for just vegetables and lean meat and chicken. That's it. There's nothing else. 90% of the stuff in this store, nobody should be eating. It's a waste of money. It's unhealthy. It might, satiate you for 5 minutes, an hour, but then you need more and more and more. It's like a drug. This is bull. I'm telling you, if you got rid of 90% of the stuff in these stores that you don't need, there wouldn't be much to buy. You would only have a produce section and maybe a meat section. Honestly, there's nothing, all this stuff, 90% of it is cereal, carbohydrates, salt, sugar, garbage. It's poison in many different forms. Don't touch it. Look carefully at what you're eating, please. Please. Because I mean, there's a big difference between eating healthy mushrooms and poisonous mushrooms. And what they're doing is giving you poison under the disguise of a healthy mushroom. Okay? So, like I said, it's not going to be easy. And then once you start losing the weight, it's because you finally reset your insulin resistance. You've reset your diabetes. You've reset your, basically you've restarted your metabolism. Now you got to keep it going. And once what keeps people going and makes it more tolerable are the results. When the person finally looks at them, I swear I'm going to take a picture of myself like now, and I'm going to stick it on my mirror. And so in a month or so, or 2 months, a year from now, and I have the body I want, I'm going to keep looking at what I used to be, and I'm never going to want to eat. Every time I think, gee, let's go, eat McDonald's, or let's go have some cake, I'm going to look at that photo and be like, yeah, nope, nope, because that's how it started. Nope. And I'll constantly remind myself now. So it's a lifestyle, guys. It's not a diet. What's the point of losing 10, 20, 30, 70 pounds and then just to gain it back twice as much? Like, what's the point of doing it if you're going to gain it back, right? So a diet is very much like coming out of the world, like being in this world with all its fast food temptations and desserts and sugar and all these yummy things, right? Look at them, but don't touch them. It's like, don't eat it. It's almost like the tree in the Garden of Adam and Eve, in the Garden of Eden, where's this tree that had this beautiful succulent fruit. And it was like so good and tasty and tempting. And God's like, don't even look at it. You can have anything else but that. Don't touch it. You eat that and you're done. Well, that's how this world is. It's like one giant tree in the Garden of Eden, and 90% of it you cannot touch or else. You start smoking, you're addicted. You start sleeping around, have sex, you're going to lose your soul, and you're going to be addicted, probably get AIDS, or have unplanned pregnancies, whatever. You start eating the stuff that they want you to eat out here, 90% of it, and you're going to be fat and sick, and your body's going to start getting sick and dying. You're going to have all kinds of health problems. It's not worth it. It might taste good. It might look good. It might smell good. Don't touch it. Don't even look at it. Avoid the near occasion of sin. Run from temptation. If McDonald's or the bakery section or the bread aisle tempt you, don't even look at it. Don't smell it. Run. Run if that's your problem. If you're trying to get away from alcohol or pills, run from people, places, and things that enable, sell, and encourage that stuff. If you have a porn addiction or whatever, cover your eyes and stop looking at people and that filthy stuff. Whatever it is, come on, this is common sense. People just don't want to do what it takes because no pain, no gain. And it requires pain to gain. You want to gain money? You're going to have to work hard. That's going to be painful in many ways. Oh, well, you got to put in the time to see that dime. You want a nice body? You are going to starve. You are going to eat healthy, which is pretty much like starving because for a long time, your body's never going to be satisfied. It's going to always be hungry. It's always going to be like, okay, I'm feeling better, but I really still want this. You're always going to want bread and cake and ice cream and junk food. And I'm not saying you can't have it once in a while when you're at your goal weight, but I'm talking like once a month, maybe a few times a year. I am not talking about once a week, twice a week, once a day. Because that's how it starts. You start with, I'll just have one cigarette smoker. I'll smoke one cigarette once in a while with a beer with my friends. Next thing you know, it's every time you're going out. And then it's every time you smoke or every time you drink or every time you eat. Next thing you know, you're addicted. So, guys, I don't care how you cut it. I don't care how you slice it. It's still pizza, right? Well, sin is sin no matter how you slice it. Addictions are addictions no matter how you slice it. And it's really all similar. Anything in excess will kill you. That's why you have to do things in moderation, okay? And we don't. And that's the problem. Every one of us has one area or more in our life where something is not in moderation. Even things that should never be done. Not only are they not being done in moderation, but they're being done in excess. And that becomes a vice. And that will lead to death. Everything, no matter what it is. All right, tell me one of these things I mention here. Tell me that one of these things I'm about to mention does not negatively affect your health or your soul, okay? Alcohol, excess eating, sugar, junk food, fast food, pornography, masturbation, sex outside of marriage, smoking, drugs, laziness. I think that's enough, right? The 7 deadly sins. Any of those. Tell me one of those things that, if done in excess, okay, doesn't become a vice or a habit, an addiction. And once that happens, your body will age, it will get sick, you get cancer, you get fat, you don't feel well, your mind doesn't work well, it messes with your mind and your body, right? Eventually, what do they all do? What does each one of those things do? It leads to death. Sooner or later, you will die because of any one of those things that you are doing. Some of us are doing them all, or used to. Okay? The average person does them all, or a little bit of them all. But what's worse is not only does it negatively affect the body and your life and your social life, it kills your relationship with God, which means you kills your soul. Your eternal soul will be sentenced to the fires of hell for eternity. For doing any one of those things I just mentioned, can send you to hell. But a lot of us do those things in excess. Not even in moderation or once in a while, which is bad enough. But we do them as a lifestyle, almost a daily habit. Wow. Think about that. So let's go back to food. So I need prayer because it's hard for me to keep on this diet, but it's not only that. I've made up my mind. I will do it. I'm good at suffering when I choose to do it. I was able to quit smoking four times, cold turkey, and I never went back after the 4th time. And that was very difficult after smoking, being a 2-pack a day smoker, chain smoker, and then that's it, I'm done. Wow, it was hard. To this day, I still want cigarettes. Eating, I need my sugar. I didn't realize, I'm not a big junk food eater, and I was still gaining weight and still feeling mind fog and sluggish and all kinds of problems. And I'm like, I don't understand. I very rarely have junk food or ice cream or anything like that. And the worst thing I eat, sugar-wise, is fresh fruit every morning. For breakfast, I'd have a bowl of fresh fruit or a couple slices of watermelon or whatever, and then a handful of nuts. I was still gaining weight. So finally, I had to go back and research this South Beach /Keto diet again. And sure enough, sugar of any form. It's okay to have an apple a day or a little bit of fruit after you've already gotten your goal weight. But that's it. You got it in moderation. We're talking, you really do have to, one little slice of watermelon, one banana, or maybe half a banana, one orange, or small, half an orange, stuff like that. You have to, you can't be having fruit salad every day or a whole bunch of berries every day. You really got to watch how many you eat, because that still is sugar. And once it's in your system, your body has to make insulin, and then it starts causing all kinds of problems. Everything kicks in and everything goes out of balance, okay? Because what insulin is doing, you need sugar. You need a certain amount of natural sugars, just like you need salt. But it's different for each person's body and metabolism. And if you don't know that and you're doing too much, whether you realize it or not, it's throwing your whole body and system out of whack. And that's where health problems start coming. In other words, I'm sorry, God gave us this world to build up and enjoy, but we enjoy things too much, including food and dessert, soda, all that garbage. We enjoy the pleasure of eating. Now, you need to stop that because it becomes an idol. You need to look at food as eat to live, don't live to eat. And I go a step further now. Do not strive to enjoy your food, because when people eat and they want to enjoy their meal, see, I'm not so picky anymore. But if you're one of those people who are going to be so picky about, I have to like what I'm eating, then that's a problem, because you're already eating not just to live, but to enjoy. You're going after the pleasure of eating, not the need to eat to survive. And that's where you know you don't have self-control. Okay, yes. I mean, for example, I like lobster, okay? I don't eat it all the time. It's expensive, it's full of cholesterol, and it's actually an insect. So I don't eat it all the time, but do I enjoy it? Yes. But I'm not going to have a lobster sandwich or a salad or every day. Very, very rarely. Do I enjoy cake? Well, yeah. Once in a while you want dessert. I enjoy, anything. I mean, I enjoy steak. I can't have it every day. I enjoy fruit salad, stuff like that, right? I love fruit, fresh fruit, especially tropical fruit. But if I'm eating it all the time, that becomes a problem. That's because it's no good. I'm enjoying it too much, in other words. Do you ever wonder why Mother Teresa used to put ashes on her food? She didn't even want to enjoy eating a bowl of rice. If she started enjoying something, she didn't want to do it because that could become sinful. She was trying to really live a life of austerity and penance. She's like, I'm eating this only because I have to, and only enough to keep me going, and no more. I do not want to be too worldly or materialistic and enjoy all my food and enjoy everything more than I enjoy God. I want God to be able to say that I love him more than anything or anyone else. Yes, the Lord gave us this beautiful world to build up and enjoy and be good stewards of, which means take care of it, but do not overdo it. You don't go to the beach every day and shirk your duties. You don't overeat food all the time because it's good and it's pleasurable. And let me tell you something about pleasure. Pleasure is all most people live for nowadays. Whatever form it is, whether it's food, the taste, good taste, drinking, the pleasure of that, or entertainment, music, sex, whatever kind of pleasure. Pleasure is a dangerous thing. And I know people are going to hate this, but you've got to be careful, because what pleasure is, it's a drug, which becomes an addiction and a vice and an idol very easily, because any kind of pleasure gets your body going. Your mind starts shooting out endorphins. It gets excited. It's like an adrenaline rush. It's like the same thing as if you do drugs. You get that high and you need more and more and more. So this world teaches us you have to seek pleasure in everything. If you're not having fun all the time, if you're not enjoying everything all the time, you're not living. That is nonsense, because that is the biggest trick of the devil. Make everything enjoyable and pleasurable so that people will not want to do anything that's not enjoyable or pleasurable. So what happens? You don't do anything you don't like anymore, which is pretty much everything. People don't even want to go to work anymore. They're just lazy because it's not pleasurable. They don't have self-control or discipline anymore. So they get fat and lazy, or they get diseases, or have abortions and stuff because they're sleeping around, because they want pleasure, but they have no discipline to say, okay, it's pleasurable, but I'm going to say no. They have no self-restraint. Why? Because your body gets so used to and addicted to sin, to pleasure, that it's like sugar. It's like overeating. It's like any kind of drug. Your body needs it after a while. It becomes an addiction. So whatever your vice is, it's usually because that's what brings you pleasure. And so whether it's sex or drugs or smoke, whatever it is, eating, you need to stop. If you like it too much, that's your problem, and that's your biggest sin, and that's your vice. It's controlling you. Your body is craving it now, and you need more and more and more of that thing. What does the Bible tell us to do? Detach from these things and make God your pleasure. Your joy must be in the Lord, and I'm finally right now understanding what he means by that. I kept saying, Lord, I'm not a joyful person. What do you mean my joy must be in the Lord? Joy of the Lord, joy of the Lord. I don't have joy. I'm a miserable person. You know that. I'm not happy all the time. I'm miserable. Well, That's because I haven't purposely made God my joy. And when he says joy of the Lord, this is what confuses people. It's not joy in the way the world sees joy, like the same kind of joy you get when you're eating dessert or having sex or drugs. No, it's a joy that's a different kind. It's an agape love, like different kind of supernatural joy. In other words, you're not going to have the same necessary endorphin rush or serotonin surge from this kind of joy. You're not going to have the same kind of joy as you get out of drinking, drugs, sex, pleasure. It's not that kind of joy. It's a joy that is more important than all those kind of temporary, superficial joys. But it's a joy like you. In other words, what it means is make God your joy. Turn away from all of those other things. Don't do them anymore if you can. Then you'll start enjoying God. It's hard because you can't see him all the time or feel him or talk to him all the time. But you have got to say, okay, Lord, I'm going to choose to love you more than all of these other things which come so easy. I mean, I could probably enjoy having a bowl of ice cream more than I enjoy the Lord very easily. Why? Because it tastes good and, but what is it going to do? Make me fat and sick and give me diabetes. So right there's your first clue. It's not healthy. God is healthy. God, when you make God the center of your life, your joy, your reason for living, you only want to love him and know him and serve him and please him, then everything else falls aside. And everything else is not important anymore. And the good thing about that is, God, when you really make God your portion, your center, the most important thing to you, no bad thing can ever happen. No bad result is going to happen. If I eat too much ice cream or whatever, I'm going to get sick and fat. But with God, you can never have too much of God. You'll never get sick. You'll never get sick and unhealthy and die from having too much God. See, that you'll only have life. You'll get healthier mentally, spiritually, physically, not the opposite. So that's how you know God, you need more than anything else, more than air to breathe. But if you do not have him, then everything you have is going to make you sick, basically, because it comes from this world. And this world is run by the devil. This world is fallen nature. It's sinful in its own. The world is corrupt. And you and I, our body comes from a corrupt world. We're born into corruption. Then we're washed by baptism from original sin, passed down from Adam and Eve and our parents. But you're still in a dirty world. You're still living in a sewer down here. Don't forget it. It might look good, but in God's eyes, this is a filthy swamp, a filthy sewer, and it stinks. And if you start living like this world and get too much like the world and do too many worldly things, you're going to stink. You're going to turn into a piece of garbage. That's what's going to happen. Your soul will shrink and die. And your flesh will get fat and disgusting and unhealthy, and you will start looking like your environment. Why do people get sick and fat and cancer and all these things? Because they are too worldly. There's too much in the world. They're not just in the world, they're living like the world. They are of the world. They're no different from the world. They are becoming as corrupt as their surroundings. Their body is reaping the same corruption as the world itself, because that's what it does. So that's why Jesus says, just be in the world, but do not be of it. Be in the kingdom, be of the Spirit, grow in the Spirit. Keep your eyes set above on the kingdom things, so that you don't get corrupted by this world, by food, by sex, but whatever it is, by the very earth. Yes, this world is beautiful, but if you love the beauty of this world, I mean, I love the moon. I love beautiful stars. I love the sunrise and the sunset. And God, this is a gorgeous planet God gave us to enjoy. But if I start enjoying this world more than I enjoy God, I'm in trouble. I'm going to go to hell. That's called idolatry. That's called loving the world more than God. And what did he say? I'm a jealous God. You shall not have any gods before me. I must be first. You must love me more than you love yourself. Anything in this that's created Your family members, you must love God more than you love your children, more than you love your husband or wife. Okay? More than you love sin, more than you love sex, more than you love food, anything. Anything you put before God is an idol. Anything, and it will reap destruction in your body. And I only wish that I really not only knew this when I was young, but that I lived according to it. Because I haven't for 42 years for the most part. And now my body is sick and racked with pain and fat and all kinds of health issues. That's from sin. People don't even realize that even if they're not trying to sin or they don't recognize that they're sinning, it's going to have an effect on your body. You're going to age fast. You will die. And we all die. But the people back in the Bible who didn't live in a corrupt world and generation like we do now, they lived for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. Noah was in his hundreds and he's still walking up mountains without a cane. Think about that. People are in their hundreds having babies with their wives. Now, I mean, you're barren at 30. It's like because of sin. Because we don't even recognize sin anymore because it's become part of the air we breathe. It is everywhere. Everything is toxic now. Everything. Everything you eat is poison. Literally and figuratively. And especially spiritually. I don't care how good something is in the world. Spiritually, it is toxic. Is it of God? Then it's toxic. Does God allow it? Then it's toxic. You know, people don't want to believe that. But like I said, that's because your mind is wrong. It's not on God. You haven't understood this yet. You are not here to be here forever. You are passing through. You are just a traveler here. Do not get too comfortable down here. This is just a journey, not the destination. So that's why you're not supposed to get too comfortable and happy down here. It's temporary. If you do that, it will trap you. It's like a prison cell. But if you just keep on moving towards God, you can navigate this world and get up to heaven. There you will have your eternal happiness and good health and real life. But you got to get there. And most people nowadays, they'll be lucky if they escape their mother's womb without being killed in abortion. But if they should escape the womb and survive long enough to come to know Jesus in this wicked world, they still don't make it to heaven because the world gets them. One of the many things I've just told you about will get you. You have to understand that 99.9% of everything in existence, as beautiful as it is, as fun as it is, as pleasurable as it is, as tasty as it is set for your destruction. I know that, but please hear me out. According to God, your home is in heaven with him. So all of this is not going to get you there. So you have to understand that, and that 1% is what you're looking for. And that 1% out of the 99, out of the 100%, that's God. So take 1% of this world and make it God. Focus on the 1%. Now do you understand why Jesus said the way is narrow? Few find it. We're focused on the 99% of life, not on the 1% that matters. God. You set your mind on that 1% and everything will fall into place. You set yourself on the 99 because it's more abundant. It's everywhere. I mean, look, where's God right now? I can't see him. I can't hear him. I can't smell him, right? I can't feel him, but I know he's there. He's actually outside of all this and in it at the same time, and he's in me. But all I see is the 99% around me. And that's what gets you. Do not fall for the trap. I will put it this way, and I got to get back to work. You are living in a labyrinth, a maze, and you got to get from point A to point B, heaven. And most people don't make it through the maze. It's too hard, it's too long, it's too tempting, or they just get comfortable, and somewhere during their travel through the maze, they get too lukewarm and they end up, oh, let me just build a house now and focus on, and they settle down. They stop becoming a traveler and they get become permanent. They become part of the maze, part of their environments. No good. Keep on moving. Why do you think Christians have to always be ready to hear the Lord and get up and move at his command? You might get settled down and buy a nice house and start having kids and a wife in one area of the world and say, oh, I love it here, whatever. I love the house. Thank you, Lord. Next thing you know, the Lord's like, I need you to go to Alaska. I don't want to go to Alaska. I'm happy here. I have everything I want. Do you follow me or are you following the world? It's not about you. Get up, sell your stuff, and go to Alaska. But Lord, it's cold. Go to Alaska. That's my plan for you. Go there. You want to follow me? Go where I send you. You have to be ready. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Today I'm driving a beautiful car, which is a blessing from the Lord, literally a miracle. Tomorrow he might take it away from me and I might be driving a piece of junk again. Hey, I got to be willing to let go. Sometimes God will give you beautiful things. It's a test. And then say, okay, now hand it over or give it to someone else. But Lord, I like it too much. Well, then you don't love me enough. You need to be able to part with anything. I want you to have nice things in this life, but I do not want you to be attached to them. I don't want you to get affections towards them. They must mean nothing to you. And see, another thing I'm hearing right now is the same thing with money. A lot of people don't understand why they're so poor. When you walk with the Lord, it don't matter if you're rich or poor, because you're going to have all your needs met. He will do it if you put him first. You might not have everything. You might not have a Mercedes and a mansion and be able to go on vacation, but you'll have a bed to sleep in. You'll have heat when you need it. You'll have food. You'll have your necessities. Why does he only give you necessities only for the most part? Because some people get distracted if they have too much. They become too worldly and their focus goes on God and not on those things and not on him. And they lose their soul. God don't want to lose your soul. So he knows better than to give you more than you can handle. But like for someone like me, I've had beautiful sports cars. I've had nothing. I've had poverty. I've had wealth. I've had beautiful homes. I'm now living with someone else in a bad home. Doesn't matter because I've always had what I need to survive. And why? Because I'm putting God first. And so I am not here for myself to enjoy my life. I am here to enjoy God and to live for him and to serve him and others. So therefore, because that's what a Christian does, a real Christian. And so therefore, it doesn't matter if I live in wealth or I don't. I still serve the Lord and I'm happy. And it doesn't matter because God gives you just enough so that you can keep on living to serve him. The minute you stop, you're dead. Spiritually and physically, because he will cut you off. And you might have a mansion and all this money and fame and fortune, but you don't have him and you don't have eternity, you're dead. It's all for nothing. So God is smart enough to know that, Stephen, if I give you all the things you want, it's going to become a distraction. You're not going to want to move. You're not going to want to give it up. You're not going to want to sell your car or give it to someone else. You're not going to want to move to Alaska if I need. So I'm not going to give you more than you need to survive. This way, you're always coming to me every day for your daily bread. And this way, I know that you'll go wherever I send you when I call you. That's it. Because your soul is more important to me and you're important. You have a mission down here and it needs to be done. If you want to follow me, then you got work to do. If you want to just be like the world, then just live for yourself and burn in hell. Because you're useless to me. So you cannot have it all, but you can, because I've learned that by walking with God, truly, he will give me my heart's desires. I've had nice things and I know I'll have nice things again. On his time, not mine. When he wants to give me a nice house, I will have a nice house. It might even be on a beautiful beach one day. Because he knows he can trust me that, okay, Steve, this is a season. I'm going to give you that house right now, but I still want you not to be distracted by it. You still must preach. You still must teach. You must do my work. The minute you stop, I'm taking that away. Okay? It's like a child. If you give a child a toy, and that's fine. But when you say, okay, enough playtime, time to do your work, and they say, no, I want to play with my toy, you take the toy away. They're going to have a temper tantrum, but that's how you train your kid. You can't just let the kid play all day. They got responsibilities. There's time for school. There's time for prayer. There's time for chores. They can't just play all day. You didn't give them the toy so they could be lazy and play all day. You gave it to them for a season, for a time. So that's how so God don't care. He gave me this car because I need it. for work so I can pay my bills. And my work is helping elderly people. And guess what? I needed a comfortable car that they can get in and out of. The car I wanted, they can't fit in. I could have had a Mercedes, not enough room for the wheelchairs. I could have had a convertible. I love convertibles. How am I going to fit them and their groceries and their wheelchairs in there? I couldn't. They can't get in and out. The truck I wanted a truck. They can't get in and out of the truck. It's too high. So he gave me not only one of the cars that I've always had my eye on, too beautiful for my, I don't deserve a beautiful car like this, but he gave it to me. But also because it's what I need right now in this season. Right now, I have an elderly woman I take care of, I live with. She needs a car that she can get in and out of. When my time comes to move on, God might give me that truck because I'm going to need a truck to move my stuff. But until then, this is the car he gave me, and I'm happy with it because I didn't have to have a car at all. And if I didn't have a car, I couldn't go to work. So the Lord provided. I was only asking the Lord for a car. I did not expect a beautiful car. He did that. Okay? I was saying, Lord, I don't care if the thing doesn't have doors on it, as long as I can get to work. And he gave me a car that I always wanted. And I didn't have to pay for it. That's God. And I'm telling people, you've got to just trust him. Make him everything to you. Don't try to get all these things in life that are not important for your soul, not important for anything in the end. If you were to die tomorrow, it doesn't matter if you had the Mercedes you always wanted or the mansion on the beach, or you went to Disney World every year and you had a beautiful wife. How is that going to matter to you when you're dead? When you're dead, I'm telling you, and I've been there, all that's going to matter is that you make it to heaven. Because if you don't, you're going to wish you never existed. And when you're burning in hell, and then people don't want to hear this, but I'm telling you, it's a very real place. And when you're there forever, you are not going to care about your Mercedes and all the sex you had and how tasty the food was and how much money you had. You're not going to care because you're going to be burning. And the only thing you're going to be thinking about is putting out the flames, which will never be quenched. And people, I'm telling you, that's where I lose most of my viewers. But I must tell you the truth. You need to know the whole truth. There is a very real devil in a very real hell. And I don't like it either. I was asking the Lord today, I said, Lord, why don't you, if you already know that people's end from their beginning, if you know that a person's going to end up in hell, why don't you just have them miscarried? Why don't you let them get aborted? Why would you want them to live a life of sin and then burn? And he told me, he's like, Stephen, I'll tell you why. Because even though I know the person is going to make bad choices and end up in hell, that was their choice. I am not going to take their free will. How can I give you people free will to choose good over evil, to choose to love me, if you never get a chance to? If I don't let you be born, you're not going to be able to have the choice, and that you won't have free will. And I already have angels and stuff that I created without free will. They didn't have a choice. They were created for a purpose, and that's all they do. I wanted human beings who had a choice. I wanted to know what it was. I'm trying not to cry right now, but I could feel him. He wanted to know, and I want to know this too, because I want to know what it's like to really be loved. Because I have not had a good time of it down here with people, honestly. And if it wasn't for God and the people of God who actually show me love, I wouldn't know what love was either. So how can I give it out to people if I've never experienced it? All I've experienced from most people down here was hatred and all kinds of terrible things, not real love. So when I started walking with God, things started changing, and I started seeing the good in people because people started loving me and helping me. But you know what? All those people were Christians. All the worldly people who I thought loved me before my walk with God, where are they now? Every one of them, including all my family, are gone. They abandoned me the minute I chose to walk with Christ. But the people who keep me alive, who buy me cars, food, shelter me, Christians. All Christians. What does that say about society? There's only two kinds of people in this world: godly Christians and everybody else. So if you really want to know how to be charitable and love, you'll be a Christian. Because without being a Christian, you won't. You can't. You don't even understand love. That's why God is important. But like I said, Jesus said he wanted people who he knows really love him. And the only way to know if they would really love him, is to let them have free will to choose to love him or to do evil. And those who choose, even though like I said, as tempting as this world is, to choose to say, no, I know I can have all that, but you're more important to me, God. My Father, Abba, you are more important to me than all this pleasure. And I also know from experience that when I have you, I have everything. In heaven, I'm going to have everything I could ever hope for down here. And until that day that I'm up there in my mansion that you made for me, walking on streets paved with gold and diamonds, I don't need that stuff now. If you want to give it to me, fine. If not, I don't care, because I'm going to have it one day. That's what I'm working towards. In the meantime, Father, I know that I have you, which means I have everything I'll need to survive. And I also, I know that you give me those good things. Like there's been many people, not everybody, but many people in the Bible who, after walking with God, truly, and after a period of suffering, they started getting mansions, wealth, beautiful wives, healthy children, everything they ever wanted. And they didn't have to do it themselves. They did not have to spend their entire human life going to college, paying student loans, working their butt off 80 hours a week so they can't even enjoy their life and have no time for God or prayer or church because they got all these bills to pay because they want these nice things. But you want these nice things? Then you either do it God's way or you do it Satan's way. And most people, they don't know God, so they automatically, even if they don't believe in Satan, they do it Satan's way. Because he's the one that runs this world down here. And it's set up purposely. I'm telling you, you do it the world's way, the devil's way, he's very wise, it's a trap. You will spend your entire life working for stuff that God can give you for free when he wants. You will go spending years in college and then spending years trying to pay off student loans. And even if you have a wife and kids and a good job, by the time you're able to enjoy your family and the house you work so hard for, you're already sick and decrepit and you can't even enjoy it. Your kids are growing up, too late. You can't even get up the stairs anymore. You got to go to a smaller place now because you can't even get up the stairs. I mean, do you see the trap? It looks appealing. It's like, hey, get this credit card right now. It's unlimited. And then you start spending and now the bill comes in. You're like, oops, was it worth it? Nope, too late. Bankruptcy. Everything's ruined. Oh, I got this house now. Oh, I got all these things. How many superstars, how many actors, how many people win the lottery? They go and immediately buy mansions and all this stuff. Oh, I have the money. Look at that. And then they go bankrupt and they owe a lot of taxes. And guess what? They end up in poverty. They lose everything because they really overspent and they thought they were going to get away with paying taxes. The taxes are that little hidden thing that comes and gets you later on that you forgot about when you bought that expensive car or a house. You always got to pay Satan. See, that's where taxes come from. Why do you think tax collectors are not really... God's not happy with tax collectors. That's Satan. Okay, you got to give unto Caesar or Satan what is Satan's. Give unto God what is God's first, and then give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Caesar only takes your taxes, your hard-earned money that don't belong to him. He didn't work for it. He don't deserve it. He don't need it. He does that so you never have enough. And even when you do, bam, he slams all these taxes on you. And now you're in poverty again. It's a trap. I would rather stay in poverty and have the Lord and have all my needs met. And when I ask God for a bottle of water, he gives me an ocean. I don't need to work hard for a Poland Spring truck. God gives it to me because I'm his child, and any good parent wants to lavish good gifts on their children. Like the Bible says, like Jesus said, if your son or daughter asks you for a loaf of bread, are you going to give them a stone? If they ask you for a fish, are you going to give them a snake? Well, any good parent knows how to give their kids good gifts, even if they're evil. So how much more does your holy Heavenly Father know how to give good gifts? So that's why I'm driving this nice car right now that everybody's so jealous about. How dare you, Steve, cry out and ask for charity? I didn't cry out and ask for charity. I got on my knees behind closed doors. I bawled my eyes out and I said, Father, I need a car. And I have no way of getting one. I need your help. And I'm going to need at least 20 grand to get a used car. And that's all I'm asking for, so I can continue working and paying my bills. I don't live lavishly. I have clothes that I'm wearing from high school or that were given to me. I don't have much left, but I'm not asking for much. I just need my needs to be met. And this world is telling me, no, I can't have it. And the devil's trying to keep me down. But you are above all that, and you can make it happen. And he did. Not because I deserved it. I sin. But because I came to him and I trusted him and I had no other choice. And I believed. I believed he could do it. And he did it. And I didn't expect such a nice car. I was happy with whatever I got as long as I can get to work. And he gave me this. And instead of people, there was my Christian friends, a lot of them were happy for me. And some of them even offered to buy me cars. Literally. But would you believe that this came from an atheist? This car came from a rich atheist who has millions and millions of dollars, won't even spend a penny on anybody, but yet he gave this to me. So that was an impossible thing, and that came from the Lord. So I don't want to hear people's mouth anymore. Don't ask God for too much. No, I ask my Heavenly Father for everything. And I say, Lord, your will be done, not mine. If you want it, me to have it, I shall have it. I'm not even going to worry about it. If you don't, then there's a reason. That's fine too. I will still serve you. And that's all he's looking for. He would rather have a sinner whose heart is truly in the Lord, who's truly trying to obey God and love God with all their heart, than somebody who's holy but doesn't obey, doesn't really care. Okay? Remember that. Why do you think God is so patient and merciful to sinners? Because not to all sinners, but those who really know that they are a sinner and want to change. And say, Father, I don't deserve you or your help. I am terrible, but I don't want to remain this way. I want to be holy. I want you to be pleased with me. Help me. I'm weak. I can't do it. And that is the person who God helps, because they're humble enough to admit they're wrong. They're humble enough to admit they need help. They're humble enough to know that they can't do it on their own unless they sell their soul and do it the devil's way down here. And why would you ever want to sell your soul? It's not worth it if you're going to burn with Satan for eternity. So I'd rather do without than have to sell my soul. And listen, this is coming from somebody who used to be a model and an actor. I could have been a millionaire so many times. I could have been a big Hollywood star. I was there. I was on my way. But when the time came for me to choose Satan over Christ, I said, nope. Not going to happen. I'd rather be poor and nobody and have Christ and go to heaven than have all of this and go to hell in the end. It's not worth it. You guys got to remember, this world, no matter how long you live and how much you enjoy this life, it is temporary. Eternity is forever. You've got to get your priorities straight. This world is designed to make you forget about eternity. You get stuck in the moment, and you're so worried about enjoying your moment, you don't think about eternity and the consequences. It's a trap. Not all that glistens is gold. Please remember that. I gotta go, but I'm just telling you, and you know what? I wasn't even planning on this sermon to come out today, but that's the Holy Spirit, because I was just trying to ask for prayer. Because I'm not feeling good and trying to tell you about this diet I'm on and all this stuff. It was supposed to be talking about a diet. And it went into, all of a sudden this wisdom from above came and it all just fell in place and made sense. And God took over. And you know what? I no longer have that headache I had when I started the video. I don't have the hunger pains. I don't have the irritability. I don't have the nausea. I was very nauseous. I was actually worried I was going to have to go to the hospital when I started this video. Now, I feel great. Because once again, I'm not letting the devil make me sick and make me down and out. No. Okay, I know better. You want to make me sick? I'm going to praise the Lord. In fact, I'm going to go and tell everybody what you're doing so that they know what you're doing, Satan, so that they can avoid it. That's what I'm going to do. Every time you slap me in the face, Satan, I'm going to go out there and preach harder. I don't care what you throw at me. Eventually, maybe you'll stop attacking me, because every time you attack me, it blows up in your face. It only does the opposite. It doesn't make me shut up. It makes me cry out to God even more. And it makes me warn all my people about you and your devices so that they don't have to deal with you. So why don't you just back off and leave me alone, because every time I'll scream louder. So that it's not working. Eventually, the devil will, well, probably not, but it would be, in theory, he'll leave you alone if it's not working, right? In theory. But we know that he is. So you know what my prayer was today? And at first, I had a holy friend with me, and he's like, did you just say what I thought you said? And I'm like, I'm going to say it again, because I want you to understand. I said my prayer, and this is a prayer I feel I need to tell everybody to pray, because I don't know if anybody has ever had the courage or the thought to pray this. I don't know where it came from today, but it was very clear. And this was what I asked God. I was with two other Christians, and I said, Lord, where two or more are gathered in your name, there you are. Father, I really feel I need to ask you for this. Forgive me if it's wrong, but I have to be bold and ask you, because I see no other way. Lord, Abba, in the name of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, I ask you to grant me the grace to be as persistent and perseverant in holiness, purity, and sanctification as Satan is in destroying souls and doing evil. Think about that. And he's like, why did you just mention the devil in a prayer? I'm like, you're asking to be like the devil? No, I am asking God to give me the same amount of holiness, perseverance, persistence, okay, and sanctity, an equal measure of all of that, as the devil is evil. Now, if we know that Satan is 100% evil, then how powerful a saint would I be if God gave me 100% equal measure of goodness, holiness, sanctity, and all the gifts of the Spirit I need to persevere to the end? Now that is a smart prayer. That's smart. That's like asking to have wisdom like Solomon, to be used for God's kingdom. So I asked God that, and you know what? I'm hoping that God will say yes. Yes, because I didn't end there. I said, Lord, I'm not asking just for myself. I do want to go to heaven, but I'm not asking just so I can make it to heaven. I swear with all my heart, I am asking for your glory and honor and kingdom's advancement, for the salvation of many souls that I could reach and lead to the Lord. I am asking for your purposes, Lord, for your kingdom. If you want to say no, fine. Then it's no. But Lord, how powerful of a saint could I be in these modern days if you would say yes? If you would give me an equal share of holiness, purity, sanctity, that kind of power, give me as much of that stuff as Satan has evil. Wow. Wow. And not only for myself, but for you, Lord, for souls, for your kingdom. If everybody prayed like that, if everybody was as powerful in godliness as the devil is in evil, he could not do anything to us. If everybody learned to be that way, if God granted that to every Christian, he couldn't touch us. Think about it. We would be so full of Christ that it would be Jesus himself standing here, not me. And Satan can't touch Jesus, can he? No, he will run. He fears him. He's no match for Almighty God. So I am asking to be as powerful in holiness and sanctity and perseverance and persistence and preaching and every good thing from God, so that when the devil comes my way, I am standing strong and he cannot do anything anymore. And then he'll stop bothering me because he knows it's a waste of time. So I leave it up to the Lord, and if the Lord wants to give that to me, he will. If not, then maybe I'm asking for the wrong reasons, like pride or something. But I don't think so, because I know that pride is a very bad sin, and I don't want that. I don't want anything Jesus don't want me to have. If he wants me to have it, I want it. If he don't want me to have it, fine. Fine. I am here to serve him. I live for him. I was created for him. I get it. And I said yes. That is the question that God poses all mankind. Will you surrender completely to me and live only for me, as my slave and servant and child? Or do you want to live for yourself? If you want to live for yourself, fine. That's your free will. I'll let you have it. But remember, that's what Satan wanted. You'll be a child of his. Or you can choose to be like my son Jesus and give all to me. And you will be thankful for all eternity. So what are you going to be? That's all I ask. And so I said, Lord, well, obviously, you're the way, the truth, and the life. I can't go to heaven and enjoy life at all, or eternity without you, right? So what choice have I? Steve, you have all the choice. I'm giving you the choice. Well, I'm choosing you, Jesus. I'm choosing you. And you know what? I still don't regret it. It has not been an easy road for me at all. But I'm telling you, I do not regret it. So I got to go, because I got to get all these groceries in the house for my client. And then I got to get off work. But God bless you all. Please pray for me. Pray that I make it to heaven, first of all, and that I keep persevere to the end, because it's not easy. And I'm telling you, that's why I ask for help. I cannot do this on my own. I know that. I am pathetically weak. I'm not even worthy to preach to you people. I'm not a saint. I have my vices. I'm trying to be holy, but I am not there yet. So, but if I have to wait until I'm perfect to do this, I'm not going to be able to do this, because I'm going to be dead and in heaven already. So how can I help you guys if I'm already out of here? So let's do this together. You know, let's just keep edifying and encouraging each other and praying for each other, and we'll make it. God bless.